I'm joined today with three founders in this session, and we're going to be taking a look at their SaaS products. We're going to be reviewing your SaaS and seeing what we can do to help improve the product, make suggestions, product enhancements, things that will help improve utilization, reduce churn, this kind of stuff. So looking forward to reviewing all of your products today. And I just wanted to let's start with a quick intro. So we have Aaron Sperling from CTO from vFlyer. We have Baris Ergin from DirectIQ and Khalil Azizi from Back Office for Business. I'm just going to go through each of you guys. If you could just introduce us and just tell us briefly what your product is, what it does. So Aaron, can we start with you, please? Oh, you'll just have to take mute off. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Thanks for the intro, Peter. Yeah, I'm Aaron Sperling, CTO of vFlyer, and Lasso.net is one of our services. It's a collaborative team knowledge management platform. People use it. They bookmark content across the web. They share it in collections, either individual collections for personal use or team collections used by typically their company or the team that they're on. And also people use the product to create collections, curated collections, and share with their audience, whether those are customers or their followers. So the product has a publishing component.
Okay, fantastic. Looking forward to seeing that. And then Baris, can you just introduce yourself, your product, and a little bit about what it does?
Yeah, I'm Baris, founder of DirectIQ. It's an email marketing platform. It's a software as a service. The strength of the software is that ease of use. We always aim for being easier to use for non-tech business owners. The ideal customer is small to medium businesses all around the world. We're not only in the US, but all over the world right now. And the company is very old. I've been running this business for over a decade. But last year, we did a big revamp, a new team, new UI, new software and everything. So I'm hoping to get a teardown of it with you today.
Great. Looking forward to seeing it, Baris. Okay, and Khalil has back office business apps. Khalil, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself and your product too?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Khalil, founder of Bob. We call it Bob Apps, the shortcut of the name. Actually, we are giving a digital transformation platform with a customer data platform for the business owner, where they can have their own website, their own application with a zero-code technology, and they can manage all their orders from multi-branches and multi-sales channels.
Okay, super. Yeah. Did you want to add something there?
Yeah, I actually just adding an interesting feature that we are in partnership with Cube.js. We are defining the KPIs for offline and online with a dashboard, including the analytics.
Okay, great stuff. We're looking forward to seeing that product too. Okay, so just a bit about us. We're UserActive. I'm a product designer. I've been working with SaaS companies for the last 15 years, designing software applications. Our mission is really to help SaaS founders create meaningful products users love. So we look to improve usability, make the products more enjoyable to use, more intuitive, and then we focus on things that are specific to SaaS, like onboarding flows, upgrades, how to manage tricky things like integrations, designing great dashboards that provide value and context to users' sessions each time they log in, and all of the different journeys that users take within a SaaS product. So we're looking to do things like increase utilization, reduce churn, and drive metrics that represent growth for SaaS. So we do this by running bi-weekly design sprints. We design with Figma. We manage a design backlog and a roadmap. And we partner with SaaS companies to provide their product design team, essentially. Okay, so that said, I think it's time to jump into our teardowns. And I think for our first teardown, we're going to take a look at DirectIQ. So Baris, I've logged in here, so we're having a look at the platform now. So if you wanted to, can you just give us another brief overview of what we're looking at here and what your users come to the dashboard for, first of all, you know, when they start their journeys? Okay, you might want to unmute.
A majority of our users are, using us to send out newsletters to their customer base. Some of them being B2B, sending business emails, some of them being B2C. There are even restaurants sending weekly menus or offers to their customer base. But majority is just doing regular old school. So we recently added more automations and more integrations to the system. And we then added landing pages. Now we added recently the social media management. So you can not just send emails with us, but design a landing page for an email campaign that needs some web part. And you can share it on your social media through us as well. So we are planning to be the one-stop shop for any marketing team. Our ideal customer is not really a big marketing team or a very tech-savvy person, but more like a single business owner or single marketing person doing multiple things. So we are trying to make it easy for them by offering all in a simple interface. So
Right.
What they do is they log in, they maintain their contact list, kind of a CRM, and then they design their email newsletters and they send the newsletters, and then they come to check the performance, the stats.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's just take a look at this dashboard. I think you mentioned earlier that you'd consider MailChimp and products like MailChimp to be competitors for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously this is an account which has some activity and some data in it already. So I haven't seen the onboarding flow, but I just wanted to start by asking you what you're doing for onboarding and how effective that is. What you're currently.
We heavily use intercom for all kinds of customer success, not only support chat, but also the onboarding wizards and everything as well. So what we weren't doing was, which I encountered, I'm a SaaS user of many other SaaS platforms as well for my own business. So what I wasn't doing was onboarding emails and chat. So we recently started, like a month ago, we started sending out a series of emails to onboarding people, because what I noticed is we receive certain questions again and again from new users. For example, they need to connect their domain and do their DNS settings to make better inbox. Otherwise, they may end up in spam folder. This we try to address during the onboarding or in the dashboard, but I think some email tutorials, a series of emails going out is very successful. So that's what we do. And then you don't see this in this account, but if you're a new user, the intercom, the product tour is also available in the system.
Okay, so good. I think there's some kind of logistics issues with a lot of sign up processes, you know. So if they have to improve their email deliverability or connect this platform with their email accounts, then that's always a tricky thing. Great if you can have some kind of explanation in your onboarding there inside the product, and then couple that with your emails that you're sending out as well. If those emails have some tutorials or link out to knowledge base articles, perhaps they can also be reflected inside the product.
Yeah, you asked for a demo account and I gave you an active demo account so that you can see the full UI. But if you are looking in with a brand new user, which you can try as well, then this homepage is completely different. You see 3 YouTube videos of how to do each step of the process. So there are videos and articles inside of it as well.
Excellent.
So this is a kind of a existing user using the system account.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so let's just starting with the overall look and feel. I think this looks quite modern and fresh. What you've got here, the UI definitely looks like you've done some nice work on it. You've got quite a bright palette here. This bright green color. It's quite good for things like highlight buttons and actions that you want the user to be really aware of. I'd probably suggest differing other sections, like where you're showing data or representation of data, things like progress bars or charts, that you use a different color to the highlight color for your action orientated buttons. So we want those just to stand out on their own, and not to be confused with any other UI color scheme, right? It's always nice if the buttons stand out alone. But let's just look at the content that you have here on the dashboard. So it's pretty good that you're showing usage in the account, the plan that they're on, and the call to action to upgrade. It might be that it might not be the very first thing that's of importance to your user, but it's good that you have it on the dashboard and you're highlighting it here. This caption over on the right hand side that has the title of link testing, is this one of the most recent campaigns?
Most recent campaign of the user.
Okay, so that just lacks a little bit of context. So when you look at this and you come into the account, you don't, it's not all clear what this is. And if it's a campaign, then is it one of, like you just said, the most recent campaign, and see that this links through all of your campaigns. But I think we might just want a heading for campaigns. And there's room on this dashboard to show more. I think you could probably have up to 5 campaigns showing here. So I assume these stats are how many recipients were on this list, the open rate, so 8%, that's one person opened this campaign, and clicks, there were no clicks. Is that why we have NA? Okay, I'll probably go with 0 instead of NA here, but clicks. Clicks were showing, blue.
Yeah, it should be a 0 there too.
Yeah. Okay. So then you're showing suggestions for their account. I guess these are suggestions for getting the most from their account. Campaign stats. Now,
as you can see, the last campaign on this account was in August 14. So therefore, this month and last month's sections are empty in this case. Right.
Yeah, it seems a strange way to group them, because it seems to me that this might be an aggregate of all of the data for all of the campaigns in that month.
Yeah. But if you can compare how you're doing comparing to your previous month, just like Google Analytics
month by month comparison. Okay. So this could be a really good widget for graphical representation. We want to show a chart here. You could use something like Chart.js or one of these, AM graphs, one of these kind of JavaScript plugins. I'd probably go with something like that. And I'll make a much bigger feature out of this. I'd also have a filter by date, so that they don't just have the option of this month against last month, but they can filter date ranges. And I'd also want to see this by campaign. So maybe they want to compare campaigns rather than time periods, because that might give them a little more insight into what's making their campaigns successful or not. And then contact stats, new subscribers. That seems like a nice stat there. But also, I think there's an opportunity to design this in a way that has some more engaging kind of graphical representation. So we might be looking at doing something like including pie charts, or a chart over time, some subscribers over time. So you have a good start for this dashboard, but if you were going to take this to the next step, I think you'd really want to bring in some charting and make a bit more use of the space. So So far, so good. It looks nice though. Yeah, there's a little scroll bar on my suggestions, and I think you have extra space here, so I think there's no need to necessarily restrict that.
I think your resolution is a little bit high as well, as being a designer.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could be. I'm on a,
because we tried to finish as you can see, we tried to end the right side with the left navigation menu. So it's like the page ends at the same line. The bookmarks icon on the left
I see.
is also the end of the page. So we picked, I don't know the resolution we picked, but we picked one resolution that fits the screen fully, and therefore we cut the content. But on your screen, when you have space, it looks a little bit weird. Yeah, why not use the
I would say I don't think it's necessary to kind of have this lining up with the navigation, having boxing off, because it's most common to have a fixed navigation. If you have it on the left hand side there, fixed navigation but scrollable page. Particularly with dashboards, there are some dashboards that have a lot more data representation in them, and then that page will be a scrollable page. So that's no problem. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is review your taskbar at the top and we're going to run through your menu. So what I do love is you have this global create button, and they can go in there for creating lists, templates, start campaigns. That's a neat feature. Okay, the notifications, that looks fine. That looks fine. And then let's see the user account. Okay, so we're showing the same information that we have there on the dashboard. Change plan support my account. Let's just go to my account. Free plan, modify plan. The settings checklist. Yeah, I think that's nice. You have different terminology for this button. This widget's more or less the same widget, but you have upgrade, and then here you say change plan, and then in here the label is modify plan. So I might just be a little more consistent with nomenclature, with labeling. That really helps for the psychology of the user. They see this in different places and it always brings the same thought to their mind. So I am aware that upgrade isn't always relevant, because if they were on a top tier plan, then the CTA wouldn't be upgrade. It would be, perhaps you don't want to have an upgrade. You might have
we learned it the hard way that we don't even need to put the upgrade button on the homepage, because when you really need to upgrade, for example, if you need more than 1,000 contacts, you need to upgrade. When you try to upload a list with 2,000 contacts, the system routes you towards the upgrade process anyway. So there are other triggers that trigger the upgrade process. It doesn't have to be a button there. But yeah, the button language should be uniform. I have a point on that. And
I think you can have bigger buttons here. They're quite small, and then make them stand out from other things like navigation and other elements, the colors of other elements. Okay, so the navigation menu, it looks intuitive. You've got contacts, you can manage your lists there, templates. Now these look like they're email templates. Then you create your campaigns. Okay, so this is fairly reminiscent of MailChimp in a way. The stats have an interesting style to them. You have little pie charts, and then you have, I mean, I think it's good. I think I think this is fine. And landing pages. Do they have templates and they can build their own? Yeah,
you go to templates, and then you'll find the template library that you offer for free as well. Like you can pick among us. We have like 700 pre-made designs that you can choose for emails and landing pages as well.
Super stuff. I like this. You have good filtering here. You have tabs, easy to find, easy to edit. I like the controls on these. Edit, preview. You've got, looks like you have a set, kind of more menu. And then there's also publishing and sharing. So no, this UI looks good. Okay, so integrations. Let's see your documentation for this.
That's the API documentation, more technical. There's also the help center.
Right. Are there any common integrations that your users need to consider?
We recently worked on our Shopify integration because a lot of e-commerce users want email in their tool. We do have a Shopify integration, but we want to, so when we did the Shopify integration, we didn't have automations. Now we have the automations. Now we want to revisit the Shopify integration to like automate your Shopify with DirectIQ. So go to integrations menu, you'll see some integrations there. We also have a WordPress plugin in the integrations menu. Go to the left menu for the integrations.
Oh yeah.
Plugins and apps. So the WordPress is there. And then social media is also in the integration section.
Right. Yeah, API. So if you just click on integrations, you're automatically taken to API keys.
We recently tried that. The left menu icons didn't have links on them. Then we had a office meeting with the team, and they said, why don't we have links to each one of them to the default page that section describes? Like campaigns should be go to the campaigns list, templates should go to campaigns list. So you don't have to open the navigation and click the first icon, but click the link directly from the icon as well. I don't know if it's a good approach, but so far we got some good feedback.
I see, yeah. I think that's good. I think that's good. In a way, it's a little confusing that it goes to API. APIs, I would put API at the top then of this sub menu here, because and then it's not, you know, if I hover here, API is not highlighted as the active state. So at first I had to try and figure out which page we were on, which screen. And then I would also, you know, for your users coming in here for the first time, it's quite nice to see what integrations you have and to see this kind of representation. Where you have the social media ones too. I'd be tempted to have these, you know, you don't have a huge amount, so I'd be tempted to have these all on one page. I think you could do all of this on one page, but if you're planning to grow this all out and add more and more integrations as you go, then obviously these pages will be, you know, maybe it makes sense to have them in separate pages, but really what we'd want to see for all of your integrations would be one screen, and then rather than having your users requiring to go to different, you know, sub pages, just have them categorized. You know, you could have one screen, a long screen full of integrations with categories if you need to categorize social media or other marketing apps or email.
Do filtering in that one page for social media integrations or others. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, filtering through categories, because they might just miss some of these. And integrations is one of the things you want to show off. So you want a nice page that really shows them off. Okay, so yeah, I would do a little update on the menu. It's quite a quick moving menu. You sometimes lose the sub menu quite quickly. I'm not sure it's necessary to have an overlay with an opacity over the main screen of your app when they interact with the sub menu.
Yeah, we tried that because the open menu, the text menu is very plain. It's getting lost on the page you're in. So that's why we did the opacity. But I'm open to suggestions there too. Of course, I can try, or I can even show you that version of it. Yeah,
I can see, especially if a page had the same background color as your menu. Yeah, that's a little bit of a design challenge. Sometimes we'd apply a drop shadow or something like that to the sub menu. But you know, if this is working, it works. These are the screens that I love to see because they're really clear for pricing. An in-app pricing screen is always great for upgrades and for letting your users just quickly check what's available to them.
I love that you went to the slider first, because slider is one thing we've been having issues lately. that a lot of people are asking, how do they see the price of the bigger plans? A lot of people are not noticing the slider in the bottom of the page. It's not even bottom of the page, it's like in the middle of the page in terms of the content, but we don't see how they can change the plan size.
Have you had any feedback on why that is? Is it below the fold for some?
No, I think when go to the smallest size, 2.5, the slider. No, the slider, scroll the slider to all the way left.
Yeah.
I think people, when it's like this, they don't understand that it's a slider that they can slide to bigger, because it's just a dot there that you don't understand. Maybe, I don't know. We did some color changes there, so it's a little bit more like there's a mouse hover right now to make it more stand out. But I think the smallest size that you see when you load the page is kind of confusing.
Yeah.
I thought about instead of showing the smallest page, should this page start with our most top selling plan size? If its top selling size is like 15,000 contacts, should the page load with 15,000 and they can slide left and right to see all the other price options? Would it make the slider more stand out?
Yeah, well, it's a good point. I think what I've noticed interacting with this is that the slider updates each of the plans, right? So you don't.
Yes, both of them updates. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't really need to select the plan and have the slider reposition according to each plan.
Well, you need to select so that you can upgrade. So we need to know, are you getting the unlimited or the essential? Yeah,
you select for the upgrade. And then you have here, the upgrade is in another box. Is that right? I would click here to upgrade for this selected plan. Yeah, I would say that's a little unintuitive. One thing you might want to try is bring the slider to the top, have it centered and not connected to one of these boxes, and in each of these boxes have the call to action button to upgrade right in there, so that they can edit the slider. It updates all of the plans, and then they can select a plan and upgrade directly through the button, because this is a little bit of there's a little disconnect there. I'm sure they can figure it out, but yeah, it's a little strange. And maybe we can just give a more direct instruction. Select number of contacts to modify this plan. Perhaps we can just give them a direct instruction to move the slider for their number of contacts. When you're not using the slider, you don't see that there's this little handle button. You do when it's on 2.5. When you set it somewhere like that, you don't see it. But these are very common, so I'm not sure why users would struggle to see it. The other one,
I told you, I've been running this company for over 10 years, and I probably designed more than 10 upgrade pages in this 10 years, and I've never been satisfied. Like, this page, I like it, but I'm not satisfied if you ask me. It's very hard to come up with a really good upgrade page. Yeah, especially in a plan like ours, where there's 2 separate essential and unlimited categories, and then the pricing is based on the number of contacts you keep. So it's not easy task. This was the best we could come up with, but I'm always open to suggestions in terms of how to present the pricing. We even did the regular pricing table, going down prices in like an Excel sheet, because some people want to see the prices all in one screen. It's really, I don't think there's a magic formula that works for everyone.
Yeah, well, you have visually, it's a nice page. I just, that issue I meant about the disconnect, I think that may be something that could be improved. And I just think simple is the best way to go. Simple and very descriptive, to making it as clear as possible. The other way that you could show this, that you may have done this before, Baris, have you used where you have the a little field with the number in, and then you have the up and down selectors to click up and down
the marketing
the number in?
Yeah, we did this in the directiq.com, the WordPress website where we do marketing.
Right.
We did there. There's a plus and minus to change the prices. But here we wanted to do like a little bit more intuitive. But again, like it's very hard to come up with a really working upgrade page. I mean, we are getting upgrades, so it's not like we're losing people there, but if there's a better way to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think I would just simplify that thing, bring the slider to the top, make it so that it doesn't necessarily interact with each of these, add a call to action button in each plan box, maybe move the price to the top, and then a little more description. There's not a lot of text in these boxes, so I think there's room to just be a little more descriptive to explain here. But I think it's a really nice looking page. The other thing I do, it seems a little hidden to me because it's under settings, and then I go to settings and then my plan. So
the homepage upgrade button also takes you there.
Okay, and then okay, so that's good. The upgrade button here brings you there. Okay, that's great.
Or in
how about
profile menu, the change plan also takes you there.
Great. Okay. So yeah, good. Okay. So you do have good routes to it. That's the thing I wanted to check with you, and I was going to make a suggestion on that, but you have that covered. So yeah, I think overall this is looking good. Baris, how many users do you have? What kind of size?
Well, right now we have 2,000 premium users because we have a premium plan up to 1,000 contacts. It's free. So yep. We have 2,000 people using for free and around 150 paid users paying anything from $12 to $600 monthly. We have annual customers, which we do a 20% discount if you pay annual, and we have monthly customers as well.
Okay, good. Well, no, it looks good. Thank you for sharing this with us. I hope this has been helpful to just review the product. If you want to catch up again on another time, just please feel free to do that. You can book a call with me, and I'm happy to spend a little bit more time with you one-on-one too.
Yeah, I would love it. Love it.
Okay, feel free to go ahead and do that. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Baris, and great to see DirectIQ. Nice SaaS. You got that nice product. Okay, super stuff. So let's move on, and I think we can take a look at Lasso.net. So Aaron, I've just signed up here. So what I'm looking at is the free account. So do you want to give me a little, just a little recap of about this product, what it is and what we can expect from it?
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. So what we're doing right now is we're trying to figure out what is the user trying to accomplish with our product. Are they using it for team knowledge management, personal research, managing screenshots? So we're just trying to get some ideas on how they're going to use it so we can personalize their experience. But essentially, most of the users right now are using it either personal knowledge management or managing knowledge for their teams. Okay,
cool. So something like Evernote might be might have similar use cases.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Evernote tends to be a little bit more oriented toward just personal, sort of knowledge management, where our focus is a little bit more team. The other difference is Evernote tends to be a lot more unstructured, where ours tends to be more structured. So it's sort of like you're sort of capturing information, we're sort of putting it into lists, we're making it easier to see visually, where Evernote tends to be more like, what people do in a Google Doc, where it's just sort of a bunch of text and ideas mixed together. What you'll see with our product is we're trying to structure that information a little bit better.
Yeah, okay, got you. Okay, so this sounds good. I'm looking forward to jumping in. So the first thing we see is the account setup. So this is the beginning of onboarding that you have here. Select option to indicate your primary goal. So if we really want the user to interact with this, usually we make that green button the primary button. We usually have that over on the right-hand side. We might just reduce the emphasis of the skip button, even just have it as a text label right next to the button on the left-hand side.
Okay.
Perhaps we'd just add a graphic for each of these to encourage them to interact with them. but I like the way that you're already gathering some information so that you can set up the account, and also find a little bit more about how your users are planning to use Lasso. So Aaron, if I select one of these, does it edit anything within the account, or is this really just a data collection for you at this stage?
It will give you different options as you go through the account setup.
Okay. I'm going to go with team knowledge management, because I think that might be what I'd use this for. So let's go through that and have a look. Creating a team is a great way to organize a set of collections and simplifies collaboration. So team name, we're going to go with UserActive. UserActive. And then, okay, it does feel a little strange having the OK button on the left.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little out of the ordinary. We usually have that on the right. Okay, so let me see if something's happening here. I'm going to say, okay, looks like we're encountering a little bug on this. I don't know if you see that.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. Why don't you just skip that then?
Yeah. Okay. To save content, click the plus on the top right or use one of the browser tools. Great. Okay. So it looks like I'd log in again here, and maybe this takes me to a page with some browser tools.
So the browser tools, go to settings up at the top.
Yeah.
And then go to Chrome browser tool.
Okay, great. Great. Okay. So I think I'd just make that much more explicit that you have a Chrome plugin. So we just say use the Chrome plugin. All right, let me just, sorry, we're having a little bit of there we go. Yeah, so I just explicitly mentioned the Chrome plugin, and I'd take that link directly from your overlay that you had there and just link directly to the Chrome store, you know, the Chrome plugin link where they can just, you know, download or install that Chrome plugin immediately.
Yep.
You could have, yeah, you could give the explanation on that page as well, right? On the Chrome plugin page for it, and then also somewhere in your, you know, perhaps you'd redesign that overlay to just explain how the plugin works and what it does briefly, and just show a graphic of it.
Okay.
Okay, so this looks cool. So we're inside. This is the first thing we see once we get into the account. So this is a bit like when you provide a walkthrough, right? You create a walkthrough, but you've done this in a screenshot kind of way and labeled it, right? So you've got add collection, multi-item operations, publish. So this is quite an interesting way to do this, and I think this is probably quite quick for an MVP. The next step for this would be doing a walkthrough that just, you know, highlights each of these elements and your user interacts with it. So I would start by having a read of this. People use Lasso for content marketing, affiliate marketing, web testing, screenshot management, knowledge management, and more. Okay, so we've already been told about this big green button, so I'd be interested in interacting with that. Right mouse click is enabled on the left collection panel. That message seems a little ambiguous to me.
So what we do is, one of the things we were trying to do is come up with a way to every once in a while share information with our users, like a new feature, a new capability, some sort of announcement. And so basically we're now able to sort of publish announcements, and as users come in the next time, they'll get exposed to those announcements up at the top while they're interacting with the application. But you're right, that message could be a little bit, you know, less vague.
Okay, and that would change, you know, every time you have announcements to make. That I assume that's going to change, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. Okay, so I'm just going to navigate around. You know, I'm a new user here, so I'm just going to explore a little bit. I like the way that you have you have some lists here, so you can collect lists. This is showing all of the items in the account, right? Then if we want screenshots, I assume you could add screenshots here. There might be uncategorized things. Now I want to do something just to see if this replaces, let's add an image. Add item, add an image. Okay, I'm gonna go to my downloads. I don't have a good image right there to get. So let's take an image from DirectIQ. Okay, we're gonna save this image and then add it. So this is a little test for us. Okay. I've got a little
why don't you hit refresh on the screen on that page?
I have
like
yeah.
Huh, image isn't showing up. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Can I add without adding anything there? Cool. Okay, there we go. Now I'm starting to populate the account. So I see, yeah, it works in an interesting way here, Aaron. You have this kind of graphic that's explaining the interface. And then once you start creating something on that screen, it disappears, and then you're almost, you know, you see the interface and you can start interacting and performing tasks in here, right?
That's right, right. So you see that just in a zero state, like no items in that collection.
Yeah, yeah. So what I think I'd probably do is just have that empty screen state slightly customized for each. You could make it an introduction to that screen. So for the screenshots page, you could welcome the user to screenshots, explain the feature, and also the call to action there would be upload your first screenshot, start or begin your first collection of screenshots. So when they come back to the dashboard, they have that orientation of the product, but each time they land on an empty screen, they have context and a description of what that screen does and that feature does.
Okay.
I think that would be a nice improvement. Yeah, so uncategorized, it seems that they can add, you know, links, images, and they can have them uncategorized here in this list on this screen. Yep. And these are example collections, right? So yep. Barcelona tips. I love this one because I live here in Barcelona now, and a lot of these places are familiar to me. So this looks like a list that I might have in my account, right? So yeah, I love that. And in a team, they might use this to create lists of resources that might be shared across a business company team. Is that a good?
That's correct. So it could be resources that are commonly shared and used by the team members. It could be research for specific clients. So one of the big use cases is we have a lot of digital agencies. They work on a lot of different client projects. So they set up a collection for each client. As they're doing research, they're looking at maybe their competitors, the marketing that they're already doing and stuff like that. So the team or a few of the team members start collecting resources either about that client or the client's competition to help them with the project.
Okay. Hey, that's really neat. You know, for us, we'd use this for something like resources that we use in our design work, or quite often we're designing interfaces and we might use inspiration from graphics, sets of iconography, illustrations, or design of other interface elements, and then we'd have a collection for reference, particularly for on a project basis. So I can see how that's really useful. And I do like the way you've got the tabs up here for the different types of views that you have for these things. You even had a map view, you've got spreadsheet views, things like that. It seemed like the map view only shows up once I get to the spreadsheet.
Actually, we're actually removing that. So that maps should get removed. It was sort of a not very well used product. So instead of having to continue to upgrade it, that's going to get removed. So until we have more real demand for it, we just decided it wasn't worth the maintenance required to support it.
I see. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have good filtering options too. Okay, neat. Filtering, sharing, and inviting other users to this. So I assume you can invite somebody from outside of who doesn't have an account with Lasso, and you can invite users to sign up.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways to approach it. So if you're just trying to share resources with just the public or specific users, you typically publish the collection. So you hit the share link to publish the collection, and then you share the link, similar to the way you might share a Google Doc. And so with that, you won't need to log into Lasso to access that content. Okay. If you want someone to either to be able to participate and be an editor of that collection or read-only view, then you invite them. They're a collaborator. And in that case, they would need an account for Lasso.
I see. Great. Okay, that's nice. This has got that kind of viral concept in it, where content from Lasso collections would get shared with people around the web, and it's not restricted, so people can encounter the product without being signed up. Maybe they're curious, maybe there's a link to Lasso, and then they can go and set up an account for themselves. So that has a good viral element to it. And yeah, I would promote that more. I like the way that you have this overlay that this pops up to share.
Peter, because you're a read-only user of this is an example template. If you weren't a read-only user, you'd be able to modify the permissions, but because you're a read-only, because this is an example, you can't modify the permissions.
Yeah, I see. Great. Okay.
So if you went to your screenshots, you'd be able to modify the permissions and edit what you'd see. So share a link, now you can sort of change the permissions to that.
Nice. Okay. Hey, that's neat. That's good.
And then you can, if you want to publish it, then you've got the share link page settings. So there's ways to customize what that end landing page looks like that displays that collection.
Right. Okay. There's some good features there. Maybe we could just show little previews here, a little more graphics, but functionality wise, it's good. I think we just tried to lift this feature. We're using some graphics and a little more design on that. But yeah, it looks really good. So okay, I see an example team, SaaS screenshots. Hey, that's really nice. You've got some good, one
thing to do is click on one of the images.
Okay, so we have a kind of light box here, right?
Yeah, so now you can sort of scroll through that. So basically, people are using it as a swipe file in some cases, like you say, to gather ideas for a specific project. And then they can sort of go through all of them, or we have tag, people can tag items, so then they can filter for a particular tag and then scroll through just those items for that particular category or tag.
Great. Yeah, I mean, and this is exactly how our team would use something like this, just reviewing examples of software pages or pricing pages.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like this. I like the workflow, and I like the way it's presented. Okay, here you have a support screen. Lasso support resources. Okay. So I'm just going to try these buttons out. So I can add a new collection. I can group them in a team. I can use a template. Okay, so if this is the first time I'm seeing templates, I'm a little unsure how these differ. So I might just see if I can embellish this drop-down menu a bit, maybe with a preview of what it is and a subheading, a descriptor. If these differ, so just let the user know how they differ.
Okay.
So that's nice. Let me see about team. Oh, it won't let me do team from there. I'll do it from here. Okay, so I'm going to add a team, UserActive, and then I can add my first collection into this team, right? So I'll say SaaS screenshots, UserActive team. Yeah, and here's an area where I'm a little unsure. So I'll go with screenshots because that's
perfect.
Named it.
Move the button to the right. Yeah.
Right, and here we go. We have.
No, it didn't. Oh. Okay, try that again. So click next to the plus button next to active team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll add a new collection name in it, and I'll call it dashboards.
Okay.
Dashboards. Web research. They're just going into the example team above. So maybe that's just.
No, they're not. They're not getting added. I'll have to look into that. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's
maybe. Yeah, maybe there's a little glitch, a little bug there, but I understand, yeah, the concept of how that will work. And okay, that also was adding collections. So we've added a team and we've added a collection through that method. Okay, so you have okay, so community. I'm interested in. So these are people who've shared their collections in the community, which is
correct.
Nice concept. And then you've got settings. It feels to me a little disjointed when you go into community, and I wonder if that can be a little more seamless, that experience. The design here is nice, the layout for it is nice. Maybe it can just open in a new window, and it's not, because it's kind of presented here. The way they're presented here, they look like they're the main navigation, like the main screens in the navigation. But when you're actually working in this workflow, I think your main navigation is here on the left. Yeah. So I think what I'd be tempted to do here is take community, have that link over to the right hand side and have it just open up in a new window.
Okay.
When you're in that community, you can follow. Okay, great. I want to follow and see what that does. Does that show up now in my account somewhere? Now
right. LA trash bin for recycling is now, yeah.
So that's the one. Super. Okay, so that's really great. I've got a following list there. That's neat too. Yeah, I think the community is nice because it looks to me like you don't need an account, and this would be for people who are not logged in or don't have an account, they still see this page. However, I wondered if we could keep the navigation and show the community screen in here, but I think this is the right way. But I think I'd put it in a new window. And then settings. Yeah, that page feels a little different too. So let me just compare here with collections, help center. Yeah, see how you do it with how you do it with help center. Yeah, settings. So this navigation is kind of mirroring some of the elements of this navigation up at the top. So I think I just have these. I think I'd suggest not repeating these here, or taking settings out from the main navigation and just having community and collections. And then let's see. Okay, notifications. And then, is there a reason I can't interact with this main plus icon over here on the right hand side?
Just in this case, you're on a read-only screen or a collection, but yeah.
Okay, so if I went to my team Yeah, I think if I had something in my own team here, it would let me add. And what does this plus button do?
It should, I mean, can you not, is it not clickable? Like, so click on your screenshots up at the top. So my collection screenshots.
Okay.
And now you should be, you should be able to use it. So the idea here is you add a URL, you're adding a bookmark, you want to add an image, you click add an image.
Right, so I'm adding something directly into this collection. Yeah, so for this, I think it's interesting the way that you have this around, because you have like, you could add a link and then add item, but then underneath you have these two secondary things. I think I've redesigned this to just give three options, and then the button would be at the bottom. No, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I found that a little confusing when I first clicked on it. It's really neat, but I just missed these, and I didn't really quite understand why they were down here. I'd probably label this up a bit more and just present it in a bit more of a easy to understand way, just so that we don't differentiate the button from the image and, the link from the image and notes, because there's 3 ways to add here. They've been separated out with this big button. I might ask the user to select, and then they add the thing that they've selected.
Got it.
But yeah, but that's okay. That's neat. So the important stuff here, how are we planning to monetize? So far, I haven't seen pricing or ways to upgrade, and I imagine that you're at an early stage with this product and potentially haven't reached that point yet. So are you planning to have a freemium model for this SaaS?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so there's a couple of things that we're doing. So right, we haven't been promoting it, but the idea is to have subscriptions for teams. So basically right now we're basically not sort of monetizing except in some special cases. We've got some paid users, but ultimately the idea is people with more than a few team members are going to pay on a per user basis. Right now the pricing is $8 a month US per user for team members. So that's sort of the plan. So we've got sort of a few thousand users. We have a few hundred people using the Teams capability. And that's where one of the ways we expect to monetize it with a freemium model. The other thing that we're doing is we're adding in the next release a lot more publishing capability, and some of the new publishing capability will only be available with an upgrade.
Great. Okay. What kind of publishing are you planning to add there? Things like articles or kind of user-generated content that's not necessarily aggregated content? Anything?
Yeah, it's aggregated, curated content, yeah. But it's going to allow you to sort of embed a lot more multimedia content. So it's going to allow you to embed things like videos and tweets, and other types of content that all get brought into your collection and all are sort of interactable in your published collection. I see. Yeah.
That sounds great. Okay, so then when you get to that stage, I think one of the key things for you in promoting upgrades is these paywalls, right? So when your users want to create a team, we present a paywall that just, lets them know that this is a premium feature and that they'll need to upgrade onto a plan, and takes them through that flow. If they want to add more users to their team, maybe there's a limit on the number of users seats that they can have within a certain team plan. And then there's a paywall, notification for adding new users to that too. And then the same with the features. Once they're released into the product, if they click and try to create something, then that's a good opportunity to show them those paywalls. I wonder for this product, if these features that you have here are perceived as commodity features and they're difficult to monetize. Do you have any input on that, any feedback on that from what you've seen so far?
Not a lot. No, I mean, I think that the people that are using it for team orientation are sort of are much more, you know, communicate with us a lot more about how they're using it, what they want to see, like what new features. So it's like the people that are using the team capabilities definitely want it to advance, have ideas on how to extend the product to make it more valuable for them. So those are the kinds of people that we're having sort of the most conversations with as we try to advance the product. So that's why we're looking to lean into, you know, how do we make the team capabilities even better?
Yeah, I think my impression for this SaaS is that it would be free. You've got a freemium plan. Potentially the paid pricing plans are not, you know, crazily expensive. Perhaps this is a scale product. It can operate in a wide range of use cases, sectors, you know, industries. It can be B2B, it can be used in a business team context, but it also can be used in a personal context, where you're using it to make collections of personal interest or things that, you know, that user might have for themselves. So I'd find it really interesting how you gather the feature requests and how it shapes the direction of, you know, the roadmap of what features you add to this and how you enrich the product with functionality and give it more and more premium functionality. I wonder if it's hard to find a route to market because of the breadth of the applications in terms of industries or sectors that this can be used for. Do you have any thoughts on focusing or targeting in specific niches? I know you mentioned agencies. Is that a kind of plan to focus for you in the agency space?
Yeah, so I would say, it's in the agency space that we're sort of seeing the most traction and the most usage. So it's there. With some of the new capabilities in the publishing side, we're going to be focusing on people doing content marketing. And so that's going to be, I would say that's probably the sort of the new area that we're really going to be pushing is content marketing agencies, content marketing, teams is where we're going.
Yeah, and I can really see you then kind of categorizing your audience in terms of agency services, content marketing. You might have, web design, you might have copywriting, you might have illustrations. There's so many different agency services, and you could almost have landing pages targeting each of them, and kind of trialing them with these different types of agency service, seeing how that goes. And I think once you do focus on a really clear ICP, maybe it's a content marketer, that's really going to shape your feature set, isn't it? How you develop those features and the direction that you take with that.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so do you have a reference Notion for this, Aaron? Notion product. Have you ever used Notion?
Yeah, I've used Notion. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think that the kind of layout that Notion has is a good reference for this platform, for this product too. The way you're building collections, it operates in a little similar to the way you have documents in Notion on the left-hand side. So that might be a good reference SaaS for you.
Yeah, I mean, they've got good icons next to the different documents that they have, either based on type or, you're right, they allow you to sort of select an icon associated to a particular document, which is synonymous with our collections. So that can be interesting.
And the other thing that they have that's pretty good is the templates, right? So you have template types, for different documents. And I see that you have that here for collections. You have the collection template. So I'd make more of a feature out of these, so that maybe there could be a page, and when you add them, you have tiles that show each of your different collection templates, and that could really be built out as a nice kind of way to present, the way to present your different templates and show off, the variety in there. What they do. Okay, good. Well, it's been good to take a look at Lasso. I really like what you're doing. So are you working on two products? You have vFlyer and Lasso, or are you just focusing on Lasso?
The two products. So vFlyer has been around for about 15 years. It's a real estate marketing platform. It has a landing page creation for real estate. It has a website builder, mostly for real estate. And yeah, that's been around 15 years.
Okay, wow, cool. Okay, neat. So it's great to see you launching your second SaaS, if this is the second one. Brilliant. Well, thank you for sharing it with us, Aaron. I hope this has been helpful. It's been really great to see your product, and likewise, happy to continue the conversation if you want to focus a little more detail on specific features or anything that we touched on in this chat. Okay, great. Cheers. Okay, so next up we have Khalil, and we're going to be taking a look at business.
Hello.
Hi, Khalil. So we're looking at back office for businesses. So this is almost like an ERP. I think this is a platform that enables businesses to manage a whole range of activities for their business, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, okay. So because I see you've got dashboards, you have dashboards for sales items, but then you have products, marketing, management, you have website builders. So it does a lot. It looks like this product has a lot of functionality.
Yeah, actually this merchant is an enterprise merchant. So we have a freemium model, managed advanced. It's included in our website.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And what are your biggest challenges right now, Khalil?
Well, actually, our website, because it's an added features or a unique features, we can see it like a mobile application with a zero code, digital transformation. So our website, it's an MVP website just to launch our MVP. But actually, the most challenge, it's how we talk about ourselves and how the onboarding using user guides and welcoming and the usability of using the builder.
Okay. Okay, so I guess because you have a lot of functionality, it's quite difficult to pigeonhole this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we might call this something like an ERP, because it will allow you to manage your whole business. Mm-hmm. And what would help would be to have a target sector or a target type of industry. So one example of this is, we've been working with a CRM company that helps wholesale and logistics businesses, right? So their CRM is specifically for them, and all of their feature sets relate to those. So how can you do that with back office for business?
Yeah, actually, when we talk with our client, the most difficult in the MENA here, that they don't have the ability to manage their online sales channels, like their own mobile application, their own websites, to integrate it with point of sale, because most of point of sale here are local point of sale, not a cloud. So we give a solution that you can present your online channel, your website, your mobile app, and your point of sale So where you can know all your customers in one customer data platform from each channel and get analytics from everywhere with showing return of investment.
Yeah, I see. Okay, well, let's run through the product, right? We're going to do a quick teardown here. So you have, obviously, if this manages a lot of different activities within the business, then I want to see a lot of that represented on the dashboard. So we've got orders, we've got total delivered orders, we've got total number of clients, revenue. The revenue is a little vague in terms of there's no, in fact, all of these stats, there's no reference in terms of what time frame we're looking at here. So is this current month? Is this a range of time that we're looking at? And then we've got orders per channel. So I think that your software enables your customers to use different channels, and then they might make sales through those channels. So I know you have the mobile app, you might have the in-store. So that's really nice to see. Revenues per channel, cancelled orders, top clients, orders by location. Yeah, I like it. I like the fact that I like that dashboard. You're showing a lot of the relevant information in there. What's the difference between items? Is this products?
Yeah, actually, there is a KPIs for the products to show, like, for example, the number of reviews, the number of sold best products. So this is just to manage the inventory.
Yeah. So, Khalil, the products that I'm seeing in this account are like food items, right? So these might be fast food places or,
this is a restaurant,
right?
Actually. Yeah, the idea of the product, there's tags, options. It's a dynamic feature. We can, for example, we have a hypermarket. He can also add his items. We have retail shops, online stores, and restaurants. So the idea of the product that it can be managed with the attributes inside each collection. For example, could be dynamic based on the business need. So that's the idea of this.
Okay. Do you think restaurants represents a ideal customer profile for you? Could restaurants be a customer that you could focus on and market to?
Yeah, actually, this is in our roadmap when we build a customer dashboard where each merchant, or we can know also each target market, which is the ideal customer profile for him. For example, restaurant targeting young people, people from some locations. So we cannot know till we defined all the analytics based on source. For example, mobile application installs, the age, etc. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then you've got a lot of different marketing activities here. You've got pixels. Okay. This menu gets a little hectic. I'd also close the flyout window, the drawers. I'd close those once you navigate onto another page or another thing, So once I move off, we'll get rid of that if I haven't interacted it with it. Yeah, so that menu gets quite busy. Yeah, your menu system is big.
Yeah.
Wow. So what I'm looking at is an account for a restaurant, and this up here is the logo of the restaurant, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Well, it looks like you've built a lot of functionality, and it looks like this could really work for especially this type of account that we're looking at. It looks like it could really do well. If you focused on restaurants as a ideal customer profile, it would really help you with your website and your positioning and marketing. So you do have that for the app. And you could go one step further and just really position yourselves for restaurants. Because if you find that they're successful with your product, I mean, then you just want to go all in on restaurants, I think, right?
You got, yes, right, 100%. But You know, we got received from another merchant. So at the beginning, we were focused only on online businesses and restaurants. But after we get a lot of requests to demo, and each feature requested from the client, yeah, makes sense, we will do it. So we do it, and the product become available for 6 segments, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's going to be something you need to be cautious of is something to be cautious of is how which feature requests you take, who they're from, and how that shapes the direction for this product. Because if you're just taking lots of different demo requests and then taking feature requests from prospects and they're in different industries, I think that will just pursue many different directions without a particular focus. So I'd say marketing. You've built out a lot of functionality, so I'd say marketing is your big focus right now on user acquisition.
Exactly. Yes. So our most issue now is the marketing, the website, the showing the value of the product to the end user.
Okay. Good. Okay. Well, hey, Khalil, it's been good to see Back Office for Business as well. Really, really great. Love that. I love what you're building there, and you've got such a range of functionality. So really neat. Okay, so that's it for today. I think we've seen 3 really good products. Really nice to speak with each of you and learn about what you're doing. Here, I just wrap up with we offer a 15-minute consultation. So if you need help with your product, strategizing, talking through any kind of product issue, maybe you have a trouble with churn, or you want to increase utilization, maybe better conversion rates for upgrades or improving onboarding, then that's something we can talk about. Feel free to book a time to have a chat with me, useractive.io/15min-strategy. So that's our 15-minute strategy call. So you can reach us there. And then other than that, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you at the next UI Teardowns session live. Okay. Thanks everyone.